This is Mike Ball. I'm with Insane Wheels, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Mike Ball.
No, I lost it during the whole ordeal.
Do you want to walk me through when you first get introduced to this motorcycle club? And have you ever been around motorcycle clubs before in the past?
Okay, so not super extremely like where I'm like involved in the set at like a super young age or anything like that. No, I just knew a lot of guys. I came from the street side of things, and there was a bit of a connection of a certain street gang and the club that I ended up joining, right? And so that was that's how I ended up getting involved in that kind of culture in the first place. I had a lot of friends that were into it. Even my buddy who is my tattoo artist, I consider him a brother. He, nonstop would have all sorts of club guys come through and stuff like that. And so it was nonstop kind of interaction with it. So I was kind of familiar in that regard.
When did you aspire to join it?
I think I was about 22, 21, 22, something like that. I ended up running across a man named Big Drift. That man, this single-handedly is the man that is responsible for my education in this whole thing. And but yeah, that's essentially how it ended up happening. And he was connected on both sides of the equation, and had ultra respect in the scene and all of that stuff, and took me under his wing.
It's kind of like a sponsor. Everybody that comes into that life kind of needs someone to show you the ropes, right?
Totally.
Because, you can't just go in there blind and try to navigate your way through that world.
Now, he wasn't my sponsor because he's the national president. You know what I mean? But he was the one that really got me involved in it.
Now, did you go to them and say, I want to start prospecting, or were you hanging around first?
So I was hanging around, and I got asked, and I just told him, hey, man, I just want to enjoy the time with you guys, you know what I mean? Feel what it's like to be in this environment. And they're like, hey, man, that's cool. And they were totally cool with that, And so when the time was right for me, then it was time for the club to prospect me.
How long did it take for you from hanging around till you start prospecting?
It wasn't an extreme amount of time. I would say maybe a handful of months. Yeah, I would say maybe 5-6 months, something like that.
You said they asked you, or you asked them to prospect?
They asked me. But now, I was the hang around that was constantly around, though, kind of thing. So it kind of made sense.
Yeah, you're always with them. You're doing things. You're going to events and things.
Up. Yeah, I'm your guy. I'm there.
So what's it like when you first get your prospect patch?
Well, it's not like what maybe the media would tell you it is. It is totally at least with my whole ordeal, it was a big ordeal. It was a big party. Me and a couple of other guys ended up getting in, and it was a big ordeal. It was a big party, man, and we had a great time. And then of course, now having that, you have a bit of a responsibility holding that, right? So You start building from there.
And how long do you prospect for before you become a full patch member?
Well, that depends on the member. Some people would say that my prospect time was very short compared to what it used to be. You know what I mean? I think it all depends on the person and their passion and their efforts and stuff like that. But for me, it was about 7 months or something like that I prospected.
I mean, if you're putting in the work,
right?
I mean, some people say it should be a year. Some people think it should be 2 years.
Totally.
It all depends. All different organizations are different. I spoke to hundreds of guys, and it's all
there's
different.
Some clubs that 30 days, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, what? Do you even know his name?
Some clubs you could just pay them money and they'll send you the patches.
Bro, I know. It's crazy.
It's wild.
It is wild.
When does your motorcycle accident happen? And did any other motorcycle accidents happen to you before this incident?
No, this was the first. I mean, I had dropped my bike a million times. I think everyone's done that, but a real crash? No, this was the very first time that anything like that had ever happened. And that was March 6th of 2021. Yeah.
So were you already a full patch member?
Oh yeah, no, I was at the time I was a vice president.
Oh, so you already went through the ranks and
So
during your prospecting time, what was that period like for you?
I would say really character building. I think not only in prospect, but the club itself, the hierarchy and understanding the hierarchy and respecting the hierarchy, right? People talk about submission and like relationships and stuff like that. Men submit all the time. You know what I mean? We submit whether it's a military leader telling you, hey, you're going to be doing this, blah, blah, blah. Dude, you're doing that. You know what I mean? You're going to listen to that. But I think it teaches you how to properly not only deal with that, but then how not to skip the chain of command. Like, there's so many great things that come out of this and show respect. I think that every young man should join some sort of organization to understand a hierarchy, whether that be a military, a club, whatever.
Like you said, people are going to listen to their boss at work every day, right? So, or they're going to listen to their wife when they get home.
Right. You want to get paid, you're going to listen.
Was there any situations that happened to you while you were prospecting? Do the cops harass you or anything like that?
Not really. Nah, I never really got harassed like that. It wasn't up until after I lost my leg, I was getting harassed more. You know what I mean? Which maybe it was just, maybe I had more balls or something like. I don't know what the hell the ordeal was, but we were always getting pulled over. And one of the great things about being an amputee, they're like, oh, hey, we didn't even know, sorry, dude, sorry, like they trip out, Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Tell me what it was like when you finally get your patch. What was that day like? Can you walk me through it?
Yeah, I was actually at my Sergeant of Arms house, and that's where we did the celebration. I didn't know about it. I thought it was going to be a church, actually. And so I showed up, and they had pizzas and a whole bunch of whatever. And I'm like, you guys going all out for a church, And like, we do this all the time. But we had some guys that came around from, like 4 different local chapters. And it was a great party as well. Great time.
And you had no clue they were going to spring it on you?
No, I had no idea.
And what are your thoughts when they present you with the patch?
This would be the one and only thing that I'll ever wear. And to this day, it holds true.
And did it change your life, getting the patch?
Yeah, but it also teaches you another type of responsibility. You know what I mean? Because now it's bigger than just myself. If I make a decision as an actual part of being a member of the organization, there is no more like, hey, you didn't know. You know what I mean? No, you know now. So you have no excuse anymore. So
and now you got this big thing on your back to identify who you are if you mess up.
Totally, 100,000%. Yeah,
and I think a lot of people don't understand that, and maybe they have a organization on their back and they're just oblivious to it and they act reckless, and all of that falls back onto that certain organization when it really doesn't represent that organization as a whole.
Totally. That's something that I learned very early on. Is true brotherhood doesn't bring heat to the organization. It's very simple. You if you're gonna handle some business, what's it to you to take off the shit and go handle it? Like, why you need to be throwing the entire on your personal account? You're throwing the entire organization under the bus. That's pretty damn selfish, don't you think? Right?
Maybe it makes them feel tougher, or they're gonna scare someone because they're wearing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I got backing on me. Look at this.
Patchitis, right?
Mm-hmm. Happens all the time.
like my friend Jeremy said, that bandito guy on the back isn't going to jump off and help you with the fight.
Damn
You
straight.
know?
100%.
Now, can you walk me through the day that you had your accident?